Not yet.
Mm-mm.
Uh, Let me see if I did this right.
Oh, there it is.
Cool. Facebook or YouTube?
Facebook. Let me check
How's it
YouTube.
going, Jujitsu family? Marco Moreno here with Jay Lopez, hanging out on what day is today? December 31st,
31st.
2021, last day of this great year. Was it a great year, Mr. J. Lopez?
It was good.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good, hermano. Everything's good. It was a good year. I mean, a little bit better than
It was a good
2020.
year.
A little bit better. A little bit better than 2020, and hopefully, 2022 will be better than this year.
Man, I agree. I think, let me check something. Yeah, I agree 100%. I think it was better than 2020 for sure. And I also positive as you that 2022 is gonna be even better. I'm very
Right.
excited for what's coming this new year.
Very optimistic.
How was your Christmas?
Very relaxing, hermano. Very relaxing. Uh, Very quiet. It was nice. It was very nice.
You like
Yours?
quiet Christmas? No, like a lot of people,
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
noise.
like it. I like no, like it wasn't hectic. It wasn't. You know how sometimes the holidays, sometimes the families get together and it's like it's more. It's like a lot of hustle and bustle and movement and that might be good. That's good. It's good to be
And
around
then you're
family, but
tired the next day.
right. Sometimes the
Look,
holidays are more stressful than actual daily life.
yes, bro. That's what happened to me actually. We went with Noelle to her sister's house. Bunch of people in there, A lot of family came from out of town and we're they are a big family. They are like seven sisters. So and kids, babies and everything. So it was that kind of Christmas with a lot of people. And it was great, at the moment, but once it's over, I had to confess, like the next day, I'm like, so relieved because it was a lot of work,
Right.
but more hair even, and she kind of crashed also a little bit after the Christmas. She's like, just sleeping the next day on the 26th. Just got a rest from the Christmas. Halloween does not that to you, right?
No, Halloween kind of just, it's a 1 day venture and it comes and
Yeah,
goes next
Halloween is less needy, I guess. Something
week.
it's easier to celebrate and then you're done.
It's like 1 day, one shot, and then it's over.
Right. Is anybody watching, do you think?
Do we have any followers? Oh, wait, we have a message here, looks like.
Message. We love message,
Let me
guys,
see.
because we don't have
Oh,
anything prepared here. So if you, oh, we have plenty
we
of
have some
messages.
messages.
Hello,
Heather.
Skeptic. We're gonna talk to each one of you guys. I have a guy in YouTube, Skeptic 77, Caesar. Where is your school and how much? My school is in Leesburg, Virginia. It's Northern Virginia. How much? you had to you had to come and try it out first. So when I tell you the price, you decide if it's worth it. All the very best, Glenn Collymore. Thank you, Glenn. Heather Paulding. Nice to see you guys. Happy New Year. Um, Skeptic. Everyone has Omicron right now. Do you think everyone?
I mean, I wouldn't say everyone has it, but that's the talk of the town now. I mean, it's the new
Yes,
The new
everybody's
variant.
talking about it. Are you scared about this?
Me?
Yes. I
No.
think it's
I
weaker. I don't quote me. I don't want to, but for what I read, it's not as serious in terms of the deadly effect than the.
right, right,
It seems like the new variants are weaker than the original one.
right. Like it, but and then the virus as a whole, it's it has and it attacks a very specific part of the population. Like the people who have pre-existing conditions. So
Yes, 100 obesity.
obesity, like
Yes.
maybe asthma, people who have asthma.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. That they have to for sure take their precautions. Dante, my friend Dante Herrera is here. Happy New Year, my friend. Wishing you the best. Jiu-Jitsu is priceless. Exactly. I 100% agree with Dante here. And speaking of Jiu-Jitsu, if you haven't started Jiu-Jitsu, today we're gonna talk about reasons why you should start Jiu-Jitsu, right? Because it's a great art. It's a man. I used to play soccer before, and then I found Jiu-Jitsu, and it's not like any sport. It's even more than that. I feel, right? What do you think for you, Jay? The main. Let's start. Maybe in no particular order, but let's start uh, describing what you think are the main reasons why someone should start Jujutsu in any order, right? And
In
then let's
any
start
order.
with one, and then we talk about it a little bit, and then we move to the next one. What do you think? And if you guys are watching and have any questions, let us know, and then we'll just keep talking about anything. So, Mr. J, what do you think is a good reason to start Jiu-Jitsu?
I think a good reason to start jujitsu is to step. The reason why I started jujitsu is to get out of my comfort zone.
Getting out of your comfort zone. And why you want
Because
to get out of your comfort zone?
right,
It's
exactly.
good to stay comfortable. Why do
Right.
you want to do that?
I think I got so comfortable with the striking arts, boxing, kickboxing, and I
Uh-huh.
ignored the grappling arts.
So you are a boxer by your background is boxing.
Yes, not professional, I wouldn't even say
Golden
semi-professional,
gloves.
but that was my first love. Yes.
You fought in the golden gloves?
No, 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 not that good. Never that. No way. Those guys are good.
So you wanted to challenge yourself more. You wanted
Yes.
to push your boundaries. You were already satisfied with your level of
Yeah.
striking, and then you want to do something else. What about somebody who's never even done any other martial arts? Even better.
Man, you're right, right, because they're like a clean slate, huh? Like they're like a clean piece of paper.
Hmm.
Yes. I
Yeah,
mean,
if you are too comfortable, I feel like you are not growing in a way. You're just kind of like
stagnant.
Jason says something like, if you always do what you have always done, you will always be what you have always been, right? And if you
Right.
want to grow, you want to change for the better, you have to challenge yourself and getting out of your comfort zone and try something new, right?
Ah,
And
hermano,
jiu-jitsu is like the perfect. What do
right
we have?
here it says I have never Glenn Collymore.
Yes.
He says, but Jay, I have never been into any martial arts. How should I begin? Come to the school.
So yes, clean slate. So Glenn Collymore. So what you do is you go to the jiu-jitsu school around Google in your area, and you just show up. Um, and most schools will give you a free trial. Some schools will give you a 1 day, some schools will give you a week. In my school, we give them 10 days. I heard schools that give you even a month for free. And what we want is, as instructors, that the student feels the environment, see the level of instruction, and to feel comfortable, right? Because Jiu-Jitsu, you have to also be, in a way, connected to whoever is going to be your instructor and the guys who are around. Because schools, Jiu-Jitsu are different. There are some that are more, say, more sport oriented, where you have guys who are like sparring really hard. And there are other schools that are more laid back, more for the hobbyist. So you saying here you are 52. Yes. So try it out. Try different schools. 2022, there are almost like a jiu-jitsu school in almost every town, you would say, right, Jay?
Yeah, I'd say
So the
in
jiu-jitsu
some way,
schools.
shape, or form.
So try all of them the most you can, and then you'll see like, all right, this is the schools that I want. And you say you're 52 years old. Jiu-jitsu is something that I should get into. I'm in perfect health, 100%. I feel like you can do it. If you're in perfect health, Jiu-Jitsu is gonna be amazing. And as we were talking about, one of the reasons, as you were saying, Jay, is challenge yourself, grow, get out of your comfort zone, try something new. And
Exactly.
when you start something new, the benefit is that you just grow as a person, right? Grow as a
Right.
person. And of course, the self-defense aspect. That will be another reason.
Huge.
Why do you think Jiu-Jitsu is a legit self-defense martial art? And how would you compare it with the striking art?
I was sold. I was sold when I started watching the Gracie Challenge videos, and of course the emergence of Hoist Gracie in in the early UFCs. You know, as far as its legitimacy is against other arts, because you have to remember back in those days in the UFC there was no rules. You know, the only thing I think they couldn't do is gouge eyes, but they could elbow, they could kick, they could knee. I mean, they could grab hair. You know, and to see Hoist go up against people who are, you know, outweighed him by significant, you know, amount of weight, still to be able to control them and submit them and ultimately win, you know, these open tournaments, and then and couple that with the success with the, you know, Henzo Gracie, and then you look at of course Hickson, and you see how when they fought Valetudo. I mean, it's just an amazing art, proven art. Um, for anybody that's in any type of walk of life. Me, for my profession, it was probably the most, as far as useful for my profession. You know, as far as I had the standing striking arts, but the grappling, I didn't have the grappling, so I felt it was necessary for me to get the grappling arts, and what better art than Jiu-Jitsu, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes, bro. I feel like if you are in law enforcement, you should definitely explore Jiu-Jitsu to control and subdue a suspect. I think is the best art. What about for a civilian learning self-defense, right? I mean, sometimes we don't look for fights. Myself, I don't go to places like bars where you see fights breaking. But you never know when this could happen. You know, you hear a lot of crazy people around, and you wanna know self-defense to protect yourself, but
Right,
maybe also your family, right? The ones around
right,
you. of any situation like this. And Jiu-Jitsu 100% offer a very realistic approach, because as you were saying before the Gracies, what happened is that people thought that fight it's like boxing, like two guys just punching at each other. But really in a fight, a lot of times there is also grappling and there is also ground fighting. Fights start standing, but very often they will end up on the ground, right? So the idea of knowing how to fight on the ground, have good top control or escape if you end up on the bottom, is an area that Jiu-Jitsu really explore and perfected. And that's what the Gracies did, took everybody down to the ground where they were not knowledgeable about what to do, and they beat everybody no matter what size they were. So self-defense will be another reason to start Jiu-Jitsu, right? Prepare yourself in case of a worst case scenario. And do you think this will be the most important reason though? Because I started Jiu-Jitsu, but ever since I started, I only got into one fight, right? It's not like self-defense is good. Maybe it's the most important, but it's not the ones that you're gonna be fighting every weekend,
Right.
right?
I think it depends on the person. Like, it depends on the person. Why are they seeking out? Why are they seeking out the particular art? Because they could ultimately say, "Oh, I want to compete," so they go to a school that focuses on competition, versus going to like a school like in Leesburg at the Basics, where they're like, "Yeah, I really want to focus on the self-defense aspect. You know, I want to self-preservation. I want to protect myself, my family." So I guess it depends on the goals that an individual
Right.
would have.
100%. So there you go, guys. We have reason number 1 to start Jiu-Jitsu: challenge yourself, getting out of your comfort zone. Reason number 2: get good at fighting and learn to defend yourself and your family. What else, Mr. J? Reason number 3?
Health.
Man, nowadays, especially with this whole pandemic going around, I think that's even the most important reason now to do Jiu-Jitsu. Health. Because when we talk about health, we talk about physically, your body health, but also the mental health. And Jiu-Jitsu helps with both, I think. What would you feel the effects of Jiu-Jitsu in your health personally, Mr. J?
So like an elevation in cardio, your strength, your endurance, your mental preparedness, your mental health. Whenever you've had a tough day at work or a long day at the office, the best thing to do is come to the school, get on the mat, train. Your partner and you give each other energy, give each other mental toughness, and then you leave feeling like 100% better, and then you repeat the next day. So it's not just physical health; it's also mental health.
100%. And bro, I have people who they've been doing they are doing marathons, or they are doing triathlons, and they think they have good cardio, and then they do Jiu-Jitsu and they're like, man, it's nothing like whatever they do, cycling. Right. Or Jiu-Jitsu is a different level of cardio. It's a different cardio for sure. And yes, you for sure 100% develop a great stamina and cardiovascular capacity, of course, increase. You learn how to breathe, right? And that's amazing, because speaking of the pandemic, right? If you have a good cardiovascular capacity, you're most likely to fight better the whatever virus comes around. So
Right.
also obesity, right? Obesity, people have the this condition, they're most likely to suffer the effects of the virus than people who are in their better shape. So you guys, a lot of times recommendations are put a mask or separate from each other, but where is the recommendation of like get out and work out and do something like Jujitsu, right? It's not said enough.
Eat better,
Eat
get
better.
plenty of sleep, drink water,
100%. And mentally, I feel for me mentally, Jiu-Jitsu, it helps me because the idea of you are in tough spots, but mentally you know that you can get out if you know how to move, right? And I apply that for other things in my life too, right? Sometimes life gets tougher, you have an issue, you have a problem, and you can apply that mental toughness, if you want to call it that, to solve your problems, your personal problems.
So the jiu-jitsu philosophy can transcend into your life, like your personal
100%, 100%. And as you mentioned, relieve stress, right? And keep your mind sharp, right? Remember people saying that for people who are suffering from when they have a mental decay, what's that illness, Jay?
Yeah, so they maybe have a mental breakdown, or they have a stress, like they're overstressed, anything, or they're having depression issues. I mean, it's not
Alzheimer. That's the word I was looking. Alzheimer. Recommendation is, for example, do it. Brush your teeth with the left hand. Right. Park facing the other way. Right. To keep your mind sharp. To exercise your mind in a way. Jiu-Jitsu is the best to do that, because you do a move in one side. First, you have to learn that move in that side, but then go ahead and do it on the other side. Man, your mind has to exercise to figure out the move on the other side. So there you go, guys. Reason number 3 to start Jiu-Jitsu: health, mental and physical health. We have challenge yourself, get out of your comfort zone, self-defense, health. What else? In health, we can include fitness, right?
Oh yeah,
fitness. Absolutely. I think I had written here fitness. Yeah. I'm gonna erase it.
Because I think, and Hermano, I think it's very important to point out that you don't need to be in any type of supreme physical shape to come in and start training.
Nice. Yes.
It doesn't. You don't need to be the superior athlete. You don't have to be the superior athlete. You come in. You know what I mean? To come in and start training. I hear that a lot. It's like, oh, I'll get back into shape and then I'll get out there on the mat with you guys.
It's very common.
Right.
Very common, people saying, when you say, hey man, you should come and train Jiu-Jitsu. Oh, let me go and get in shape and I'll be right back to train with you. They never come. But no, you guys, that's not the approach. You guys come to Jiu-Jitsu, whatever shape you are, and you get in shape here. by moving, by practicing the techniques with your partners. The Bruce, Happy New Year to you all. See you next week. The Bruce, is that Bruce, the Bruce that I am thinking?
Yes, I believe so. Brenda and Bruce. I think you put an airplane there. I think it is that's the Bruce we're thinking of.
Oh, Bruce, brother, Happy New Year. Thank you for your support. Hi to the family, Brenda and everybody. Cool, you guys. Any other?
I missed their yoga. Remember they used to put yoga on for us?
Yoga? Oh yeah, Brenda.
Brenda would have the yoga for us.
We have a guest joining here. Let me see. Should we accept him though?
Is there like do you have to ask? Do you have like some prerequisite questions to ask them? Like,
he's late.
It's like some troll just enters your chat.
No. This is not a troll. This is somebody here. I don't know how to let you in, Jason. This is Jason.
Oh, yeah, I definitely don't let him in then.
Don't let him in. What do I do? Let me see. Jason! You're in, brother.
Jason. Can you hear me?
How's it going? Yes. We can hear you, bro.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year, man.
Jason, 1 week without Jujitsu because we closed for the holidays. How did you feel?
Well, I was there yesterday.
What? Oh, you can't stay off the mats too long
before the new year.
The cat's out the bag.
Oh, yeah, because Christian had open mat.
We had the school open. The cat's out the bag.
You couldn't stay off the mats too long. What's that?
It was terrible.
Terrible. No Jujutsu, right? Man, I'm missing it too. How's your Christmas, Jason?
It was great. It was awesome. Had a family come in, hung out, was off from work, so got to relax. Good times.
Cool. We're talking about
Christmas with Mila and everybody.
Yeah, we had a big Christmas celebration at Noel's sister's house, and you know, it was great with the kids, bunch of kids. But man, after Christmas, I'm like, I was happy, relief that Christmas was over.
I need a break from the holidays.
I need a break from the break, for sure. Jason, we're talking about reasons why you should start Jujitsu. Why do you think? What can you tell us about somebody who hasn't started Jujitsu? Why this person should start?
Well, I always tell everybody this is like the great time to start because every day is a great time to start Jiu-Jitsu. There's never like that moment when you say, I'll just wait for after the new year, or I'll just wait till spring break, or I'll just wait till the summer. You have to just start when you can start. But I think the biggest benefit to Jiu-Jitsu is it gives you kind of the gift of confidence. And it gives you, it's a healthy lifestyle. But one of the things that I like about it the most is I think it surrounds you with really good people who all have a common goal. And that's kind of rare in life, where nobody is trying to hold you. Wait, they are trying to hold you down, but in a good way. So
the community.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's good for your health. It's good for your self-confidence. It's good. I feel like when I'm around you and Jay and Christian and all the students there at the Basics that I'm a better person because I think being around good people makes you a better person.
Man, that's so important. You are right. I think Jiu-Jitsu is special in terms of creating a community because, let's say, a gym, right? A gym, everybody goes to the gym, lift weights, but they're on their own, doing their own thing. Some people might connect here and there. But Jiu-Jitsu, we are all in this room. We're all practicing with each other. We're all talking with each other. As soon as you come in, you're like, hey, you're saying hi to everybody. When you leave, hey, see you guys, right? So the community, I think, in Jiu-Jitsu schools is stronger. And yes, and it's people there who are also doing Jiu-Jitsu because they want to push themselves. They want to be better. So you have like-minded people who are trying to improve themselves. And that phrase, when they say you are the people who you surrounded with, right? If you surrounded with people who has no desire to improve, who are maybe have a vice, right? Who have addictions, and it's not inspiring you, right? Versus in a jiu-jitsu school, everybody's trying to push each other. Everybody's trying to get the other better. And you're right. And then you become, the culture is of improvement, of getting better, of helping others. So, man, you're right. What do you think about this, Jay? The community as a reason to start jiu-jitsu?
Absolutely. I say look no further than the kids' classes. I mean, we start them at a young age, and if we model that for them and their parents are modeling it for them, and we're modeling, respect and good diet and healthy living and healthy lifestyle and good citizenship, that's what they're going to see, and that's what they're going to model, ultimately, if they're getting it from everywhere. Same with the adults. Adults come in and they see that everybody's respecting each other. There's nobody hurting each other. Everybody's cooperating, working with their partners. They see that, and then they model it, and then they do that with the partner, a new partner that comes in. It's like a cycle, So it's of course. When I agree 100% as far as it being a community, like a very positive, tight knit community.
Cool. We have. Sorry, Jason, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's a healthy environment to learn in because you can be there, for 4 or 5 classes and you'll never hear a cuss word. It's only encouragement happening.
Yep. We have Jerry Friedman. How's it going, Jerry? I hope you're doing great. Happy to see you. Happy New Year. Andrew Peel. Happy New Year, Andrew. Thank you for your support. Hi to the boys. Man,
is that our year, viewership? The 6? Is that how many people we have online watching?
Yes, we have 6
are
people.
We 3 of those 6? Or
we're 3? No, it's not counting us. So, my hope is that later they will see it later. That's my hope. Nobody, like we have 6 people watching now, but who cares? Maybe later somebody will watch it.
We have some very dedicated followers.
We just throw this information to the internet. If the guy who catches and take some benefit, then great. Jerry says, train your mind to be in the present or you get choked. 100%. Like focus. The moment you get distracted, get choked out. So we have to do a little review here. We have reason number 1, personal growth. And I quote you here, Jason, your phrase that you always say, if you always do what you have always done, you'll always be what you have always been, right?
Yes, sir.
That's a Jason quote. Self-defense, mental and physical health, and community, camaraderie, like-minded people to push you forward.
So that's interesting about the mental health, because I think that's one of the things that people don't realize is when you walk into jujitsu, you leave all the baggage that you walked into that school with at the mat, and then when you walk in there for that hour or hour and a half that you're there at the school and rolling and training, and all those problems seem very insignificant, or you just forget them altogether. And so it does give you a way to kind of reset your mind a little bit. So I agree with the mental health.
Yeah, it's hard to bring your problems on the mat, right? The moment you start practicing and connecting to other people and laughing and trying, and then sparring, if you start sparring, you have to worry about the guy that is trying to submit you. You don't have time to be thinking about real problems. So yes, for sure, they disconnect you from reality a little bit. You enter another dimension where you get to relieve some of the stress of daily life. Cool. What other reasons, guys? 4 reasons: personal growth, self-defense, mental health, physical health, community. What else? Any ideas? Any questions from the 4 people who are watching?
And I think it's good on the mental health side to always challenge your brain. They say you never want to stop learning, so you should always try to find something that challenges your brain. And I'm not sure that there's anything out there that challenges you as fast as jujitsu does, because it's about as fast of kind of problem solving as you can have to deal with. I mean, it's in the moment, worried about getting submitted, worried about getting choked or joint lock, and you have to figure out, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to survive? And one minute you're doing well, and you think you're about to submit somebody, and the next thing you know, you're on the bottom of the fight again, and now you're defending. So it keeps your brain evolving.
Mm-hmm.
What about your ego? People talk about Jiu-Jitsu keeping your ego in check. What do you guys think about this?
I agree. I think jujitsu is makes you kind of look in the mirror, and so many people walk around who have never trained, who have never been in an altercation, never been in a fight, with this idea of how they would handle themselves. Well, I would just punch them, I would just kick them, I would just whatever it is, but they've never challenged themselves. So what happens when those people come onto the mat and they first experience jujitsu, it's that reality check. It's that looking in the mirror going, wait a minute, all that stuff that I thought I was capable of doing, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I don't know as much as I know. Maybe there's more to this self-defense stuff than just punching somebody and knocking them out and running, So I definitely think it keeps your ego in check.
Mr. Jake, why would it be a benefit for somebody to be humbled by Jiu-Jitsu or to have a humble ego?
I think anytime you're humble, you always leave the door open to be a student. Once you stop being humble or having humility, you typically become stagnant and you don't learn anything. If you always have the student mindset, that I'm going to learn something new today, whether it be jujitsu or whether it be anything, anything. As long as you have the student mindset, you're going to be successful in a lot of things you do, in anything you do. You're going to achieve a lot of goals because you're always opening yourself up to learning new things because you're humble. You're always thinking about the next thing that I can learn. And in jiu-jitsu, as we know, it doesn't stop when you leave Gracie Combatives. You get to Master Cycle, and then you're a freshman all over again, you know, and you start over, and the learning process starts. And then, Mr. Marco, you got your black belt, and then the learning started again, right? So it's like it's a never-ending process of learning and staying sharp, and being humble is a big part of that because it keeps you in that student mind frame, always ready to learn something.
Yes, and I feel like regarding the ego and being humble, and you prove yourself on the mat, right? You know what you're capable of. So if somebody cuts you off on the road, right, and maybe show you the finger, in a way you feel like you can walk away from a fight if you have a healthy ego, because you know what you can do, and the reality, and you know the reality of a fight, how serious it can be too. So you decide to just keep driving and not get into road rage, right? Don't you think?
I agree. I think learning jujitsu has taught me that I definitely don't ever want to get in a fight.
Why is that?
I, because you just realize that you can't one judge somebody by the way they look. There's, people that are small and they seem, frail or weak, and they will just tune you up on the mat. And and even when things go your way, it can still end bad. You know, I think all this jujitsu makes me want to fight less than before I started training. Because again, I thought before I started training that a fight's going to look like this, and I can handle myself, and I'm fast enough, and now I realize that so many different factors come into play. That maybe I do a great takedown on somebody in the street, but then I land on my knee and I hurt my knee, and even though I end up on top, my knee's broken, I'm out of the fight again. So even when it's good, it can go bad. At least on the mat, I say, "Hey, man, I hurt my knee," and everybody's going to stop and go, "Hey, what's going on?" And in the street, that doesn't happen.
100%. I agree. Legal issues too. And also in a street fight, you never know if the guy is going to pull a knife or a gun, you know? So I feel like having your self-confidence, it makes you like be okay, just walk away from a fight.
Right. I feel like anytime there's an avenue to walk away, take the avenue. Because once two parties agree to mutual combat in the street, and let's just say hypothetically somebody dies, it's not just slapping hands and bumping fists and going home for the night. There's going to be serious repercussions. So anytime the avenue is there to walk away, walk away. Walk away. What? Yeah.
And don't they say like 99% of the fights are 100% avoidable?
Right. Yeah. Right. Walk away.
Yeah. It's usually egos clashing each other, and it takes us to the point
That's
of
like
fighting.
That's like the quintessential keeping it real. Like you're in the street, I'm gonna keep it real.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 100%. So that's why I was saying like learning jujitsu as a self defense is awesome, but really you don't even want to get to a point where you have to use it, right? That's why I was saying maybe learning jujitsu because of self defense is great. It's a reason, but you get so much other benefits than knowing how to fight in jiu-jitsu, which is all the ones that we were talking about, the fitness, the camaraderie, the mental health, right? So in a way, is it the self-defense kind of like not the most important reason, or we cannot rank them like that?
Yeah, I don't think you need to rank it. I think everybody that walks into the door is going to get something out of it, and most people are going to get multiple things out of it. But the best thing is experience the journey. And this is the question that we asked the kids, Marco, if you remember. I said, if you could go to bed tonight and wake up tomorrow and know everything there is to know about jiu-jitsu, would you want to do it? And most of the kids said, yes, they would. And then you said, no, I think I'd want the journey. You want the experiences. You want to learn all the bad stuff as well. You know, all the things not to do by going through those experiences. And yeah, so I think everybody that starts it walks in the door for their own reason. And I don't know, you probably know that better than I do. What causes most people to walk in? Because don't you have that on the what brings you in today? Isn't that one of the questions that people put? Maybe it's the recommendation of a friend, or maybe it's somebody who's been a kid that's been bullied, or maybe it's an adult who's trying to get back in shape and figures that this is the way to do it. I mean, everybody's got their reason. And then once they start training, then they realize that you've kind of, you know, opened up Pandora's box, and there's so many other benefits to jiu-jitsu. And really, I think a lot of them are just kind of uncomprehendable. I mean, that when you asked me that the other day, you're like, well, you know, why do people train? And I was like, man, there's a million reasons why people would want to train.
100%. And jiu-jitsu keeps your mind sharp so good that because it's a lot. Basically, jiu-jitsu, what it is just problem solving, right? And it's almost like you get to that into trying to find a solution to everything, right? My wife sometimes talks, there is something that's going on, and I'm already giving her like 3 possible ways of action. Like, maybe we should do this, or maybe we should do that, or maybe we should do this. And she's like, no, I don't want to. Don't give me solutions. Just
sometimes you just have to understand the dry mouthedness.
She just want to listen. She just wanted me to listen. She just wanted me to listen and be there. And I'm like, I do jujitsu. I need to give you solutions, right? So great, guys. So if you are thinking about doing jujitsu, here you are, all the reasons. Are there any other reasons that we're missing? I think we are missing some, but these are the main ones.
I think we'd be here for a long time if we listed every reason.
All of them.
Those are good cores. So those are good cores to start with. Like, if somebody's coming in the door and they say, I really don't know why I want to start, and then you could kind of recommend, well, are you trying to increase your health? Are you trying to find some camaraderie? Are you trying to compete? You know what I mean? And you can are you trying to increase your fitness? You know, those are good cores to start at.
And I think you know, we've also seen people that come in. They come in either with their significant other or with their children, and they say they want this as a way to connect with their family. And I think this gives people that opportunity as well, because once you learn this, you can do it anywhere.
Right.
I know with my kids, I sneak up on them and try to choke them all the time.
Didn't you say is a way that I can spar with them without repercussions?
Exactly.
On the mat.
Yeah, we have a saying at our house: never trust a hug, because they're always going for underhooks, you know.
That's so funny. You guys, what makes jiu-jitsu different than any other sport? Like, why jiu-jitsu and not I'll say soccer? Why jiu-jitsu and not basketball or golf?
I don't think it's.
What
I
makes
don't think.
jiu-jitsu so unique and different than these other sports?
I don't think it's a this or that. I think people come to jujitsu for jujitsu. You can come to jujitsu and still love to play soccer, still love to. I mean, if you want to, if you're somebody who's studied karate your whole life and you think, well, I can't go to jujitsu because I've been karate, that's not how it works. You should definitely come to jujitsu as well. Um, I think jujitsu offers some unique things that are probably don't exist in other sports, especially in team sports. I think the honesty of loss is one of the things that in the team sport it's easy to kind of push the blame to, well, our team wasn't performing well today, or the other team was they had all stars on that team. It was all good people on that team. Well, in jiu-jitsu, it's you and another person, and so the reality of maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was hits you a lot faster because you don't have anybody to blame but yourself.
Yes, you are more accountable for the outcome because it's just you. You cannot blame it on your friend who dropped the ball, right? So in a way, it's more your responsibility to perform. So because there is nobody to blame, but just you. So that
And I
reality
think
is
I think jujitsu is interesting compared to other sports is that you can be bad at jujitsu and it's still fun. If you're bad at a lot of other sports, you don't want to play them. You give them up right away. But jujitsu is almost the people that are bad at it are almost happy that they're bad, knowing that they're going to get better. Right? They know like, hey, I just started. I'm no good at this, and it's kind of fun because they know everybody's trying to pull them and make them better. Whereas other sports, you may play it and you're like, I just don't have I don't have a hack for it. I'm not going to be any good at this. I'm no good at golf, or I'm no good at bowling, and then you decide to go on to something else. But everybody kind of starts at zero in jiu-jitsu, and it's cool to watch people grow.
yeah. I like the also the practicality, like Jerry here is saying, it has the practical application of self defense and a way of thinking of the mat, right? Like the practical application is very important versus like what's the practical application of golf, right? So yes, also the workout in jiu-jitsu is very functional. The guy is trying to defeat you, so you are working out by moving in a very deliberate way, right?
It's just a life skill. So like it's good that people play soccer. It's good that people like to play football, but you also have to learn how to drive a car. You also have to learn how to change a
Got it.
tire, and you also have to know how to defend yourself. So it's like it's good to have those hobbies. They're great because they're active. They're very active hobbies, but you have to have these life skills in addition to your hobbies. You know.
Cool, 100%. Good, guys. What plans do you have for later?
We usually celebrate New Year's about 9 o'clock. We say Happy New Year, and then we go to bed.
Happy New Year.
I like that plan. That's my plan.
That's my plan too. Are we
Like,
getting
it's New
old
Year
or what?
somewhere, man.
Um, I was happy that the 2019 New Year's Eve we went with Noel to the club and we had a great time. I think that was my last time that I enjoy the New Year's Eve like that. But I like it. I like it just cool, quiet. Maybe we're gonna watch a movie later, and just go to bed early. It's like another day. The
Chill,
sun
man.
comes up the
Same
same
way.
as any other day.
Right, I'm the same way. I like, it's it's just sometimes people have, different likes, and whenever you like, I'm a little older now, so my likes have adjusted a bit. I don't mind. I really like sitting on my couch and quiet, and and just and watching me a little bit of college football, and
Yeah.
then getting some, and I'm good with that.
Are we old, guys? We got old?
So did we cover New Year's resolutions? Does anybody have anything unique, or is it all just be
Oh, good
healthier,
question.
work out?
That's a good one.
Man, I have a very, very important New Year's resolution, but I cannot tell you guys. I'm gonna say something different. It's kept secret for now.
So
But
how
it's
do we-
gonna happen. It's gonna happen in 2022, and it's related to Jujutsu.
So how do we know when it happens? You're going to tell us when it happens?
Oh, you will know. Yeah, I'll tell you. I will tell you before everybody else.
Okay.
Does it involve pulling guard, or you're not going to pull guard or anything?
Pulling guard. My pulling guard instructional is coming. No, man! So many memes about pulling guard.
Yeah, they're vicious.
Yeah.
They don't. They're very vicious, right?
What's the meme of the father talking to the son?
He tells him, you'll understand when you're a man someday or something. And the son looks at him and goes, Dad, I'm 32. And he goes, yeah, son, but you still pull guard or something like that.
Oh man. What about you guys? Any New Year's goals? 2022?
So
very small ones.
I
Very
kind of joke. Go ahead, Jay. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, Jason. Go ahead. That's all right.
No, I've jokingly said I'm going to kind of reinvent myself. I'm going to rebrand myself into Jason 2.0. So it's I'm going to try to eat better. I'm going to work out more. I bought a weight set. I don't have any weights yet, but I have the set. Like I have to, when I get
starting.
my weights,
That's
the
next
start.
year's goal. Next year's goal.
Next year you put the weights.
So it's all about, for me, it's about getting healthier and I've been staying at home. I've been working from home for the last year and some change, and sitting in front of the computer all day. I need to give myself some more time as well. So that's the big thing. Eat
Are you
healthier.
gonna do the hair transplant that you've been talking about this year?
Good luck on that, Jason. Let me know how that works out for you.
Man, yeah. If it works out, then I'll need it soon, man.
Yeah, I'll be getting in touch with you.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Hey, speaking of lifting weights, guys, if you live in the Leesburg, Ashburn, Sterling area, go to Power Train and tell them that Marco sent you. Over there, ask for my friend Matt Coldaway, and he'll take care of you. Powertrain offers personal weight training. The staff is incredible. You go in there and they give you a session to evaluate, and the guys just gonna walk you through like the art of lifting weights, and they customize programs for you. You don't have to be an expert. You can be a beginner with no experience, and they'll run a program for you of lifting weights, get stronger. If you practice Jujitsu, getting strong is great. I've been doing it to protect my body against injuries, and I've been feeling great. So I've been training with Matt for a few months now, and I've been feeling the results. Power Train in Ashburn. Matt Coldaway. You guys check him out, and you let me know. You won't regret. Thank you, Matt. This is the pitch I've been telling you about. So I told Matt, I'm gonna talk about Power Train in the next podcast. Unfortunately, we only have like 3 guys watching, but somebody will we'll see this.
But
The
you've been
fastest.
working. You've been working out with Matt, right, Marco? What do you
Yes.
feel like you're getting stronger? Do you feel like
Oh
because you said
yes,
you never
man.
worked out, you never lifted weights
I've
before?
never worked out, and I have to say I was almost in a way proud of not working out. Like I only need jujitsu, right? I only need jujitsu, and that's been true. Like I can spar with stronger guys and beat them just with the technique. But as I was getting older, I felt my joints getting a little weaker and not being able to, like for example, a sparring session. I will spar every day. Now after I spar, like I have to recover for 2 days, 3 days if I have a hard sparring. So now that I've been working out, I feel more protected overall. So I feel like my joints don't hurt so much after I spar because I've got stronger. Not to replace my technique, the technique is always there, but definitely I will recommend you guys getting stronger. Power training Ashburn, Matt Calderway. Hey, we have a friend from France. Check this out. You guys, we're international. Pom Dapi, Happy New Year from France. How's it going, Pom? Happy New Year. We're international. Pom, do you train? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but do you train Jujutsu in France? Let us know. Let us know your experience. Jay, goals for 2022.
Nothing groundbreaking. Same thing. Just continue to get better. Be a better instructor. Be a better listener. Be a better problem solver, and try to help the students learn from. Like put myself in their perspective. Try to help them learn, either at the school, at work, here at home. My daughter. So just be better than the year before.
That's great because a lot of people, and Hiron talks about this, about you comparing to others, right? And this goes to Jiu-Jitsu too. Like sometimes what happens is you start Jiu-Jitsu and somebody comes newer and beat you, and you've been training already for a year. And then you feel like, oh, I'm no good, and then you second guess yourself, and then you quit Jiu-Jitsu because you feel it's not good for you. But I think the secret is don't compare to others. Some people might have a background, or they are younger, they're stronger, or they're just natural, they learn fast, natural athletes. And you keep your own journey, right? And as long as you are getting better than what you were the day before or the year before, I mean, that's what it's all about. So I think I totally agree. Pom Dapi, no, I have no experience. I'm skinny. But that's why you should start. Pom, what do you guys think? He said he has not started Jiu-Jitsu because he's skinny. What do you guys say?
Is there a
Elio,
school?
Elio Gracie
Is there
way?
a school
How
where
much did Elio
you
Gracie
live?
weigh?
Elio Gracie, I think he weighed about 140, something like that.
So is there a school available in France where you live? That's the question.
What part of France?
I'm not
I
sure.
wonder what part of France.
I'm not sure. But if you're
I don't know if
skinny,
there's a
We're still holding Zoom classes.
yes, come train with us through Zoom. No, skinny. If you're skinny, of course, Jiu-Jitsu is actually made for the skinny. That's Elio Gracie's phrase, right? Jiu-Jitsu is the art to empower the weak, the skinny, the non-athletic. So it'll be perfect for you. Give it a try. Cool, guys. My wife is skinny, and she's flexible, and she's great for jiu-jitsu. When you have long legs too, Man, I think jujitsu is more. It's not so much about being skinny or short. It's about how you use your body type and how you adapt the techniques for your body type, right? It could be a guy who you see and you are like, man, your body's made for jujitsu, right? But he doesn't know. He hasn't created a plan, a strategy that accommodate his body type. Versus a guy who's short, right, short legs, but has a, in a way, adapt jujitsu to his. I'm not talking about you, right? But you have adapted jujitsu to make it work for you, and then you can beat the guy who supposedly body type is made for jujitsu. Don't you guys think?
So what I think I've told you the story. I have a really good friend of mine that was very heavy set, over 300 pounds when he started jujitsu. And he told me, he says when he was 300 pounds, like nobody could keep him in their guard. And I used to joke, I said, because nobody has legs long enough to close their guard. Like you just, you're always passing an open guard because nobody can cross their legs. But now he's been doing jujitsu for several years. He's a purple belt now, and he's lost, hundreds of pounds, over 100 pounds. And he says now he has a hard time passing people's guard because people are able to actually close their guard. So now he's having to learn like a whole new way of passing that he never had to do. So as his body has changed, we always talk about going with different body types. So that you can learn what it's like to roll with a heavy person, a strong person, a short person, a tall person. But he has had to change his jujitsu as he's changed his body type from going from a heavy person to now, under 200 pounds. His jujitsu's had to change. So if you're skinny now, it's quite possible you come to Ashburn, you go over and you start training, you get bigger, you get stronger. And the things that used to work when you were skinny, because maybe you could slip out of things, or it was hard for people to get you in a triangle because your neck was skinny. Now you find yourself getting exposed. So you have to constantly evolve as you evolve.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about this as you get older as well. The things that you used to do that were flexibility and speed and strength, those things start to go away, and you have to use technique. So jujitsu is always evolving.
What do you think is the best body type for jiu-jitsu, Jay?
I don't think there's an actual. I don't think there's one. I think it's like Jason said.
Let me rephrase. Have you been short? Let's be real, right?
Wait. He's short?
Have you find any challenges?
Guilty.
I thought we were the same height. We look the same height. Oh, where Jay's at? Is he on this side? Or...
Have you find any challenges by not having long legs?
Yes, and like just like Jason said, over time you work, you get all this pool of techniques, and the techniques don't change. It's just what happens is like I'm more keen to use for a good example is double ankle sweep. I'm more keen to use the kick variation versus the knee thrust because of the chances of my training partner always being taller than I am. So it's very rare I would use the knee thrust variation. I know the knee thrust variation, but it's very rare that I would use it because of the situation with my height. So like Jason said, you just adapt. You adapt. The techniques are all the same. Those are constant. But like what you do is you tailor it to your body type, maybe your athleticism, maybe your explosiveness. But the idea is that the techniques don't change. The body types do. And you just learn to adapt, and that all takes place, over years and years and years. And I'm sure I'm still doing it because granted there's over 600 techniques, So the idea of just adapting the techniques to my body type. So it's a constant thing. It's a constant. I wouldn't call it a problem. It's a constant learning cycle.
This is going to
friend
cheeky,
Max.
but I think
Sorry, Jason. Let me
Go ahead.
mention Maxwello. Yeah, that's why I subscribe to your channel. It's very motivating and inspiring. Thank you, man. I appreciate. Thank you. Those are very encouraging words. In this channel, I always post techniques. If you guys haven't done it yet, please subscribe. We sometimes break down fights, UFC fights, Jujitsu fights. We do narrated sparring videos, and we do mindset talks like this one to motivate people to start Jiu-Jitsu and continue to Jiu-Jitsu. So Maxwell OU, appreciate your support, brother. Will be this year we'll be keeping the content going in the channel with more videos about techniques, Jiu-Jitsu, breakdowns, sparring, and podcasts. So I appreciate your support. Sorry, Jason.
No,
What were you saying?
I was just going to give kind of a cheesy answer and say that the best body type for your jiu-jitsu is the body type that you have. There's no perfect body type. I've rolled with Jay, and his short legs are very frustrating. You know, it's because he knows how to use his short legs.
Also, you cannot choke him. I have a hard time doing leg locks on him, and it's true, bro. Like short neck.
But that's how it is. I mean, everybody's body type is perfect for their jiu-jitsu, and you are going to evolve your jiu-jitsu based on the body type that you have. So if Jay waits to get taller and before he starts doing any, starts trying to practice jiu-jitsu, then we're going to be there forever. If he says, my legs get longer, I'll get that full triangle lockup for the first time.
Right.
Partial lockup for life.
Hey,
Jerry was saying something like that. He said, your own body is the best type of body for Jiu-Jitsu.
Absolutely.
Bro, I how people have like body issues. Oh, I'm too skinny. Oh, I'm too like this or too like that. But in Jiu-Jitsu, you get to appreciate like, man, I have these legs that I can use, because you learn to use your body, to adapt your body for Jiu-Jitsu, and you're like, man, I'm glad I have these legs. I'm glad I have this body type, or because I have this body type, I can do this technique. Right? You learn to love yourself and your body. I think I get to appreciate my body from the Jiu-Jitsu practice, I believe. I don't know if that happened to you guys. But yeah, cool.
It's a process. It's again, you're discovering, like, as you get further and further into your journey, you start discovering, wow, I was able to retain guard a little longer this time, or I was able to survive, or I was able to escape. I was able to insert the elevator hook with my leg. You start noticing these things that your body's doing that they weren't able to do before. They weren't doing before because your body parts are so mentally in tune with what your brain is thinking, and everything's working together as a unit.
100%. You guys, we're getting to the end. We've been talking for like an hour. Thank you for joining the podcast, guys watching. If there is no more questions or any last...
And Marco, we have 9 viewers now. We're starting to hit our stride.
Growing. Now. We're growing. Great. So we should keep talking.
Say hi to Mr. Marco.
Hey! Weston! We have Weston here, and he's gone. Who you're gonna bring, Miles? Miles is gonna say bye. You guys. There it is. Look at him. Miles. Hey, buddy. Hey, Miles. Miles.
Say Happy New Year,
Miles. Miles. Hey. Miles, the official mascot of the podcast. Well, thank you guys for being here. Any final thoughts, final comments?
Mine
Jason?
is,
Come to the
if
school if
anybody
you're in
is
the
watching
area.
that wants to start jujitsu, just start. Walk in the door. Most places, if you're anywhere near the Basix, obviously, please come by and to our school. We'd love to have you. But if not, walk into almost any school. They're going to offer you a free trial, and take advantage of it, because that one step may change your life forever.
Okay.
Same thing. Get in there. If your goal is to be better, that's a great starting place. Find a jiu-jitsu school near you. Like Jason said, walk in the door, sign your name on the dotted line, get your gi, tie the most important belt on your waist that you'll ever tie, and get on there and get training.
100%. I join what you guys said. If you are thinking about starting Jiu-Jitsu, don't think twice. Just get in there and you'll be challenged, you'll be pushed, you'll get great friends, your fitness will get better, and overall you're gonna grow as a person. It's a great sport, a great art. I would recommend 100%. I don't know what I would have been if I never started Jiu-Jitsu. I think because of Jiu-Jitsu, I am a better person, and I feel like it's gonna be the same for anybody who decides to start. There is no limits. What's that?
I was just going to say, and it doesn't have to be all for you. I mean, this is a gift that you can share with, like you said, your significant other, your children, and it's something that you can do as a family. So it's great.
Cool, guys. Happy New Year. Enjoy. If you're out celebrating, drive safe. And I'll see you on the mat soon. If you're training Jiu-Jitsu, come visit us in Lisbon. We'll be happy to meet you. And all the best. See you guys next year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New